study abroad look like?
We'll learn more in course. Tirando 300 y pico me costó 140.
Si necesitas. Es más caro, pero está genial. Lejano.
English tour.
Okay, we are standing right here in front of the Royal Opera House. Yes, it's very exciting. It's actually not that exciting because this opera house is neither the biggest, nor the oldest, nor the most beautiful opera house in Europe. It has some pretty nice acoustics, but it was built, you know, in about 1850, so late 19th century. Anyone planning on going to the opera? No, I didn't think so. On top of all of these other things, it's actually ridiculously expensive. Tickets can go up to 400 euros. 400 euros to go to the opera. Nosebleed seats, 90 euros, maybe you'll get it. But the really nice thing is they actually don't want to have any empty seats at an opera. So if there are available seats, these seats go on a 90% discount 1 hour before the opera starts. So if this isn't your budget, you know, 90 euros, 400 euros, you can line up here all dressed up 1 hour before the opera gets started, and you can get opera tickets for something like 10 to 50 euros, which is kind of awesome, right? 10 to 15 euros. So yeah, that's the Royal Opera, not that exciting. Over here we have the statue of Isabella II. I find her much more exciting. She was one of the last rulers of the Bourbon dynasty, right? And Isabella II, she was actually the only female ruler during the Bourbon dynasty. Why? Because the Bourbons, they actually banned women from ruling. So they banned women from ruling. So her father, Ferdinand, he was the one who overturned this ban because he really wanted his daughter to be queen. But as you probably can imagine, people, they weren't very happy about this, right? They didn't want a woman at the throne. And so before she even came to the throne, she was already disliked. And then it didn't really help her too much that she got to be known as the Dirty Queen. So she knows that. Isabella the Dirty Queen. Dirty for every sense of the word that you can imagine it. Number one, yes, she was known to take on quite a few lovers. But let's be ladies, let's try and be a little compassionate with this woman because she was forced to marry her gay cousin. Okay, so she took on a few lovers on the side, got this really bad reputation for it. Second reason she was known as the Dirty Queen was because she was not a big fan of water, so she actually used to bathe twice a year. Yeah. And so every time she would bathe, the water would actually come out green. And here in Spain, we have a shade of green that we call Isabella green for this very reason. So that is Isabella the Dirty Queen. Let's go to the Royal Palace.
Mana por andarme queriendo ahorrar unos reales. Sí.
Like a lot of like stuff is like coming back. Like the whole time I was here, we went. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we went on like a couple walk. Was like popular like square, and I met a lot of people there. Like the best getting bocaditos. There's like little and then you can get a hot dog and there's like literally 100 different like places. It's like the Baskin Robbins of like sandwiches. Yeah, anytime you I would prefer to eat like more like authentic like food, but anytime you just need like a quick like snack, I think that feels good.
Okay, so this is the beautiful, the stunning Royal Palace. My personal opinion is that it's the most beautiful palace in Europe. You can try and fight me on that, but I still claim that it is. Before we actually talk about the Royal Palace, I want to talk about the statue that's in front of the Royal Palace. That is the statue of Philip IV. Where's Philip IV? The loser king! Can you come up here, please? So Philip IV, we do remember that he sat down pretty quickly. Why? Because I had nothing to say about him. Why did I have nothing to say about him? Because he didn't do anything, right? Philip IV, he used to get this guy Velázquez, a pretty famous painter, to paint a ton of paintings about him. The greatest thing he did in his lifetime was model, right? Model for Philip IV, sorry, for Velázquez. But Philip IV, he felt a little bit insecure about, you know, the fact that he didn't do anything, and the fact that his father, Philip III, he has this big, beautiful, majestic statue where he is on 3 hooves on the ground, on a horse with 3 hooves on the ground, in the Plaza Mayor. So you're feeling kind of crappy, right? Yeah, like, head in shame. At And so he wants a statue that is even more majestic than his father's, right? He wants a statue where he is on a horse with 2 hooves on the ground. You can stand if you feel uncomfortable. With 2 hooves on the ground. What would this indicate? A noble death, right? He died a noble death. But this guy is such a loser that he actually had the statue built before he even died. Right? He most definitely did not die a noble death. You guys should know he died of dysentery. Anyone know what dysentery is? It's diarrhea. Yeah. But Philip's, I'm so sorry. He's still, you know, he wants this statue. He wants this statue to look really majestic, right? And so he insists that it get built. But it's not so easy to build a horse standing up on 2 legs. It's actually the only statue in the city that is this way. And that's because, you know, how do you prevent the statue from snapping at the ankles? But Philip IV, as I said, he's really determined to have the statue built. So he calls up his friend, this famous sculptor in Italy. The sculptor says, man, I really don't know how I'm going to make this statue. So he sacks him, calls up another one. He ends up calling 3 other guys. Finally, these guys, they call up their friend, a mathematician and astronomer, also an Italian dude, called Galileo Galilei. Remember that guy? Galileo Galilei. He's that guy who suggested, you know, that it was the Earth that rotates around the sun and not the other way around. And for this ludicrous idea, he was actually imprisoned. And it only took the church about 350 years to be like, oh wait, you're right. So, Galileo Galilei, he gets consulted for Philip IV's statue, and he has a solution. He says that in order to build it, they need to fill in the rear half of the horse with bronze in order for it to act as a counterbalance to the front half of the horse. So Galileo's contribution to this statue is to fill a horse's butt with bronze. So we're all very proud of Galileo Galilei for this reason. So thank you, Philip IV. Great story we have. Okay, so let's go check out closer the Royal Palace.
Oui, j'aurais un petit peu d'amour sur le reste. Un nombre de choses. Tu prends là, si c'est je sais pas, je vais de quelqu'un actuellement. C'est juste parce que tu as dessiné, c'est pas bonne. Pas bonne à entendre. C'est ça, en termes de. Même avec toutes les constructions mathématiques,
Foi no alojamento das Olimpíadas.